In this video, we're going to show you how to find equivalent fractions, which means fractions which are equal or the same as another fraction. And then we're also going to show you how to order them from the smallest to the largest. So the first thing I want to show you is how to find an equivalent fraction. Here we have the fraction known as 4/6, and I want to find a couple of fractions which are the same as 4/6. Now there's two ways we can do this. The first way I'm going to show you is by simplifying the fraction. And what we mean by simplifying the fraction, it's about finding a common factor between the numerator and the denominator. So just a quick recap, the numerator, remember, is the top number in a fraction. The denominator is the bottom number in a fraction. So when simplifying a fraction, your very first step, step one, is to find a common factor between the numerator and denominator. So if you cast your mind back to when you learned factors, alright, we've got the number 4 here and the number 6. I know straight away that 1 times 4 will give me 4. I also know that 2 times 2 will give me 4 as well. Let's have a look what factors we can find for 6. Well, we know 1 times 6 is 6, and that 2 times 3 equals 6. Now we need to find a common factor. So we can see both 1 appears in the 4 and 6, our factors for 4 and 6, but that's no good because we'll end up with the exact same fraction. So the only factor that's common between 4 and 6 is the number 2. So what does that mean? Well, that means we can divide the numerator by 2 and we can divide the denominator by 2. Because a very simple rule is you must always remember that whatever you do to the numerator, you must also do to the denominator. Alright, so now that we've found a common factor, we know 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then 6 divided by 2 is 3. And we've simplified 4/6 by finding a common factor. Now if you remember, I did say there were two ways to find an equivalent fraction. The first way, we had to divide the numerator and denominator by a common factor. In this case, 4/6 is equivalent to 2/3. But we can also go the other way. So this time, instead of finding a common factor, what we're going to do is we're going to take 4/6 and we're going to multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. Because remember, whatever you do to the numerator, you must also do to the denominator. So this time, I'm going to multiply 4/6 by the number 2. Alright, which gives us the fraction 8/12. So 8/12 is equivalent to, or the same as, 4/6 or 2/3. Okay, so last time we multiplied the numerator and denominator by 2. Let's do the different one. Let's times it by 5 instead. So this time we've got 20/30. Which again is the same as or equivalent to 8/12, 4/6 or 2/3. So that's two ways you can find an equivalent fraction, by simplifying and by multiplying.